Yeah, let's hear it, Phines.
Quantum Week is a podcast that takes a random week of the last 40 years and talks about movies, music, and the headlines that make the week unique. Recent episodes have covered movies like Top Gun, Titanic, Good Will Hunting, Back to the Future. They've also recently talked about music from Beyonce, John Cougar, Mellencamp, Puff Daddy, Bruno Mars. Quantum Week puts out 2 podcasts each week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe today and leave a review. That's Quantum Week, also available at quantum-week.com. Subscribe today and give it a listen. Thank you.
I like that the best.
Oh, no. Fuck you.
that was Brandon.
Podcasting will be a thrill. Grandpa and chill, grandson and friends. Podcasting will, Grandpa and chill, will be a thrill, grandson and friends. With your hosts, Grandpa Barton, Brandon Fox, Phines Jackson, and Sierra Dawes. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Brandon, can I make a minor criticism?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, your lighting is not good on my screen.
I told him to get a ring light.
My ring light's downstairs. You want me to get it?
Yes.
What about it looks so bad?
First of all, it's kind of dark and looks purple. He looks purple.
He's overcast. The light is behind him. He's silhouetted. All we're getting is the blue light from his computer, which honestly, I don't know what you're looking at that's so blue, Brandon. You're like purple.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. In the meantime, y'all figure out what you want to talk about today.
What are we going to talk about today, guys?
Well, I'd like to know what's going on with Sierra and Phines this past week.
What did I do this week? But I took out my ukulele today. There we go. That's what I did this week. I took out my ukulele and I played some chords at random.
That's good.
Yep.
Make a song about all your pain, but like in a ukulele, like, very cheery way. It'd be funny. What'd you do this week, Grandpa?
Yeah.
What's that?
What'd you do?
The usual, cleaning the bird rooms, for one thing. It takes me about 2 hours for each room, and I do it about once a week. And just general cleaning and straightening. And then I've been working on learning a editing program for video and audio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's called Resolve. It's unfortunately for me, my memory is not great, so it's a little more difficult for me to remember all the moves. But I'm catching on to it. I've already sort of gotten into the camera, which I bought, which is a cinema camera, and I'm doing okay with that. That is more simple than the editing program. So I'm getting there, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you trying anything to make it easier for yourself? Like
you're talking about as far as editing, or what are you referring to?
Learning, like the new.
Oh, well, I've been there's like hundreds of pages of instructions, tutorials, but I find that if I watch some of the TV tutorials on my TV, that helps a lot. So I've been doing that, and I'm just really just getting into it right now. I think most people that are professional videographers probably go use an editor, a professional editor, to do this sort of thing, because you have to know colors and everything, to do it right. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll ever go ahead.
It might be easier to just shoot something quick and random and then just go into put it onto the software and see and just kind of figure it out that way instead of trying to read through the whole thing,
Right. I'm trying to maybe tackle too much at one time.
Yeah. Because half of that stuff, Like it may, like however the book is set up, it may just have a lot of like intermediate or like higher level stuff that like you don't even need to worry yourself about just yet. Like it may just be like a cross that bridge when you come to it kind of deal.
There is a setting on the camera that you can use, and it says video basically. There's one that says movie, there's one that says video. The one for video, they say it's not quite as good as if you professionally edit it, but it'll get you through. It's a faster way of doing it without going into the Resolve program.
Yeah.
So that's a lot better, Brandon.
It is. Look at that. Look at that color correction right there.
Mm-hmm.
You honestly too, Grandpa. I don't know if this is the best advice, but I just scrap the pages. You seem more like a kinetic learner anyway. It seems like you're better at, like, even when you were explaining, you got the camera. It seems like to me, I'll be like, well, he gets it because it's physically in front of him and he gets to touch it. 100 pages of reading is a waste of your time if you're not going to even comprehend it. You should might as well just keep bumping your head, playing around physically, instead of wasting time reading. I mean, I like reading and all that, but
Yeah, like
You're
the book
absolutely
can just be
right.
an index, and like if you like hit a roadblock and just like go back to the book and be like, okay, well, page 64 is like whatever I need or whatever I think I want to do. Just like go.
That's great advice. Very good advice, and I agree with that. Yeah, you maybe should have been a psychologist.
well, I don't know. I think it's more like I don't read directions a lot, but I try to make it like I'm fun. It's not because I don't have written directions really well. I don't take them very well, but I'm like, I'll just make this by myself, and it'll take me 2 or 3 more hours, but it's more fun this way. But probably because I can't read the directions like I need to. I don't comprehend them. I also do YouTube. Like I'll read a whole manual or I'll look at a manual and go, this is way too much, just words. So I'll go to YouTube and I'll once I see them kind of do it, I'm like, I get the gist. Like, you probably are like that too.
I am. Anything interesting in your life this week, Phines?
Yeah, I started back playing Pokemon the trading card game online. Like I used to play the regular game, but I stopped because I couldn't find people to play with. So I started playing online again.
I would have played with you.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
They did.
We're always like, let's make plans for Pokemon. I mean,
There's still time.
There is still time. I just bought a starter deck. It's fun to make a deck. What else did I do? I did that. I've been learning a lot about gratitude and how important it is for your mental and physical health, and I probably, all that stuff. So be grateful because we're very privileged to have internet and headphones and a microphone and a magic light that makes Brandon look from ghoul to...
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say ghoul. That's so crazy.
And he put his shirt on. He threw his shirt on.
It's 1,000% improvement.
Yeah, now I look like you, Grandpa.
Well, a lot better looking, but anyhow.
No. Grandpa used to... I saw pictures of you in your 20s recently. Grandpa was like what do you call it? Like a playboy.
Oh, wow.
Not.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like he was like a dap, like a Montgomery Clift.
You're embarrassing me, Brandon.
By calling you good looking.
You're
I just got called a ghoul. I mean, which one of us is supposed to be embarrassed?
God. So what are we going to talk about today then?
We
didn't accomplish anything while you were gone. We were just talking about
no. That's good.
It was this fun game. I mean, it's not fun. It's cheesy. It's for that gratitude thing. But there's this thing that this guy was talking about he does with his kids, which is like 2 roses, a thorn, and a bud. So you give 2 compliments for the day or 2 compliments going on in your life, and then you do 1 complaint, and then you do 1 thing you're looking forward to doing in the future. That's funny. I know it's funny.
I just got a lecture on that, and the person said that's called a shit sandwich.
What about it? Why is that?
Like a shit sandwich with like an olive.
Yeah, on the top, like because if you give a compliment and then you cake it in with like negativity, then they call it a shit sandwich. But I didn't like it when the guy said that it was called a shit sandwich either. So
the guy seems negative. And it's different. It was 2 compliments supposed to be like, hey, are grateful, but like, hey, today I'm grateful I have a podcast to be on.
Yeah.
I like that. That's nice.
And then
also, you look like a fucking ghoul. But also, the podcast is going great. Like
that's my thorn. Maybe is that like, and honestly, it's not a thorn. It's probably a bud. I look forward to seeing Brandon look like a ghoul every Wednesday.
and that's why it's 2 pieces of bread with shit in the middle. But his argument was that if you have a shit sandwich, if you cake the compliment, then the actual criticism or like what you want done gets lost. You know what I mean? Like it dulls the message that you're actually trying to send. So
that sounds like a stick in the mud.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. But I can't call him out because we're live. But
okay. We should have a competition of coaching and see who gets stuff done first. I'm like, you go ahead and just tell people how much of shit they are. Keep calling everybody a ghoul and see where they get to.
I want to go to the Gordon Ramsay school of self-reflection.
Yeah, the crazy thing is he's a nice guy, you know, like genuinely. Like I saw a video of Gordon Ramsay when he was like a younger student or whatever, and he was like just like very like kind and yes, whatever you need, chef, you know, and like it's kind of funny. Like,
when do you think people started like thinking that being mean was the answer or being stern?
I don't know. When were saber-toothed tigers?
I was like 11. I was probably like 11. I was like, this is the way.
People need pain.
This is the way. When I was like a kid, I had a teacher. I only had one male teacher until I got to high school. And I remember he was like, I would have parent-teacher conferences and he would be like, Sierra is so great. Like, I don't have any problems with Sierra. Like, she does all her work, she participates, and when everybody's being too rowdy, like, she just turns around at her desk and is like, look, y'all, you see him standing there, you've been talking this whole time, you've been talking so long because he's just waiting for you to shut the hell up. Why are you still talking? Just be quiet so I can learn. And then they would be quiet, and then the class would continue, and you'd be like, Sierra rocks, great student, 10 out of 10, would recommend.
Dang.
I was like 9.
Wait, but we're talking about, when did you become mean or nice? Like
when you knew that,
yeah, giving, like, being kind doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. When did you find that out, Grandpa?
I don't think I've ever really changed. I just try to be nice. I don't have that personality to attack people.
No.
It's just not in me.
So great.
I also don't believe, I think kindness is, I still don't believe that being stern is the key. It's really to be really nice and attentive and mean-spirited.
Yeah. That is you in a nutshell, Phines.
I was the quiet one in class that goes, man, you're bow-legged, but you have nice shoes. And then they're like, oh, he's bullying me. No, I don't think I was like that. But
yeah, that's what actually makes kids cry. Like the bully that's like, oh, fuck you. Like, it's whatever. But then
Sierra's over there yelling. I'm over there like actually making trauma.
Yeah, you sit in front of Phines in class. It's like there's some dude who probably remembers it. Like last night, he's like 24. 25.
You're in like the 7th grade and Phines passes you a note on Valentine's Day. It's just like, no one's ever gonna love you.
Yeah. No. Like he puts his kid down in the cradle and then he looks and he sees his bow leg and he thinks of you. That's what you're doing.
Oh
I hope they're the 7th grade. Well, not 7th grade now, but someone I tormented in 7th grade that wakes up in cold sweats at 3 a.m. and he's like, I'm not bow-legged. Checks their legs and they go, yes.
Yeah, just sit.
Yeah, I am.
Were you ever bullied?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was bullied. I got bullied a lot. Like, let's see. Yeah, middle school, I guess, and grade school. High school, it didn't really matter as much because you hung out with your own clique of people. But middle school and high school, it was really hard. That whole like we talked about it last episode. Either I was too white hanging with black people, or I was too black hanging out with white people. So it was really like, uncomfortable type of thing. But
this is in Indiana.
yeah, it's Indiana.
Oh yeah.
And our bullying was different. Like at least with like say my black friends, it's more like like we call it joning. It's making fun of each other. It's like it became first you get bullied if you don't know how to take a joke, but at some point it's like we make fun of each. It's what we did. It's not like it's like more of a we're friend. Like people that bullied me are friends. Like because we both made fun of each other throughout the year.
Yeah. And then if you're like, hey, stop, seriously, stop. It's like, oh, what are you? What's wrong with you that you want to?
If someone says stop and they don't like it, that's when you keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you find out you're real friends. Is when they push them to that another level and they're like, I'm not talking to you ever again. And you go,
when you got them is when they're like, please, like
when someone's ready to fight.
Seriously, hey guys, seriously, and then then
no.
it gets,
And when they leave the classroom, and then you snicker.
Yeah, what's funny is like I always thought like because kids are just so mean, like really, and I was like, well, now that I'm a grown adult, like if I were to go back there, I would have like the capacity to be like, oh, I can shrug all that stuff off. And then when you and me would play basketball with each other with those kids, and they would talk shit about me, I was like, I couldn't do anything. I was like, damn, dude, I'm 8. I'm 8 years old right now. So
it looks like we're thinking about shit sandwiches and childhood trauma.
No, we're let's just get Tom on here.
Yeah, let's get Tom.
Yeah, a lot of good things to talk about.
We're gonna do that, but
same helmet. There we go.
Hello, he can't hear me.
See,
Tom on the clean feed.
Tom, hello. Are you able to get on the clean feed link I sent you?
Grandpa, did you get bullied? Or did you ever bully anybody?
I don't think I ever bullied anyone. Well, maybe so in camp when I was a kid. Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I was a little wild. I used to lay in a bunk in the afternoons. We'd take a nap or lay in bed, and I would have a pellet gun, and I'd be shooting the pellets into the walls.
Yes.
And I didn't realize as a child then, I probably was 11 or 12, that it was scaring, frightening people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a time I specifically bullied, but I'm sure. I can't hear you, but I think you can. I'm sure I have.
You're muted, Sierra. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Duh. Okay.
Brandon, did you ever bully anybody?
Yeah, for sure. Not with a pellet gun, but.
That's very humane of you.
Back to the Zoom page.
You don't have to do anything else with Zoom. You just need to open the clean feed link in Google Chrome.
I'm getting everything on my screen, so I don't understand.
Yeah. No, I'll answer you, Phines, once we get this.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, Phines, I was not intentionally trying to bully anybody, but I guess in a sense it probably scared people.
Yeah.
And then I used to hypnotize kids when I was a kid in camp, and if I touched them, I told them they'd get an electric shock, and I was like having fun. I didn't realize that it might have been annoying for someone.
Did you use a gold watcher? What did you just?
No, you just basically. It depends more on the personality of the person that's being hypnotized than the hypnotizer. They have that type of, I guess that type of personality where where they concentrate and become hypnotized.
So do you know? Is there like a person you can notice him like I bet that person is easily hypnotized?
I'm not sure because I haven't done it for 65 years, so
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I can't remember what I was learning. Something about personality types, but I think I could see.
Oh, for me.
Cool. Now we're rolling back live. Awesome. I think we left off. We were talking about hypnotism and how Grandpa was bullying people through hypnotism.
Excuse me.
Is that true, Grandpa?
Yeah, it's true. I went to a camp where there happened to be some campers that wasn't eating. There was a camper that wasn't eating enough, and the doctor hypnotized him in order to get him to eat more. And I guess I picked something up from it, and I hypnotized 3 of the campers that were in my bunk, and it seemed like a fairly easy thing to do. And if I told them that the only thing I did with it, I would tell them if I touch them, they would get a shock, and that's what actually happened.
Do you mind doing a little bit of something? Like what? Just walk us through what you picked up.
Well, I probably didn't pick up all that much. In other words, all that I did was just keep telling them that they're getting tired, they're getting sleepy. If that's what you mean, how to hypnotize the person.
Yeah. So you say you're getting sleepy, and then I'm like, okay, and then what?
Well, at some point, you would tell them that when I touch you, you're going to feel a shock, and that's what happened. It was a very not a particularly complicated situation. These were young kids. We were probably 11 or 12 or 13 years old at the time.
That's very unusual, I feel like, for a kid.
I did get criticized by the camp and wasn't asked back to the camp the following year.
What about you?
Go ahead.
Can you hear us, Tom?
Oh yeah, I hear. It's interesting. You're hypnotizing in the campground. More people should be doing that these days. Chilling out in the campground and going to altered states. Why not?
Yeah. You ever been hypnotized, Tom?
I don't think so. I mean, I grew up on a hippie commune, and there was all kinds of spirituality, and then it became a Jesus freak commune, and then it became a drug dealer commune, and then it became like like hypnotism and magical stuff, and then it was very, very strange experience. So, but I never was hypnotized on there. I was mesmerized, but not. I was mesmerized by the 60s and 70s, but I wasn't into the drugs, and I wasn't hypnotized. So it was pretty straight. My view was pretty straight. They never got me into that altered state at the campground like Grandpa here.
So Grandpa said he was doing it to bully people. Have you ever bullied or been bullied, Tom?
I used to get bullied at the I went to Catholic school, and they used to throw rocks at me every day, and there was Mexicans there in Central California, but somehow or another, I was kind of okay with it. I was kind of getting beat up, and I felt like somehow or another it was part of my karmic path or something, and I didn't fight back. I just kind of took it. And then I think it made me a better dad, because I'm still to this day, I don't like any kind of bullying, like female or religious or any sexuality, I don't like it. And I like that it's a fad right now, that it's like, it's everybody's very aware of bullying. It can't be enunciated enough how important it is push for non-bullying.
Yeah, I agree. What are you about to say, Grandpa?
I was just going to say, would you consider like professional football a type of bullying in a sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. Even like anybody, like just what I said, everything I said about non-bullying, I'm still a bully. I'm still passive aggressive. Um, I'm not marked safe from bullying, just like you with your hypnotism. I still kind of have a bully mind. I mean, I'm on either side of it. I feel bullied. I bully. I think humans might even be bullies. Just the fact that they don't harmonize with nature. Just driving a car is, I mean, that's the way I feel. There's a lot of angles of bullying.
Do you guys feel like it gets less as you get older? Like people get nicer or more empathetic, or the opposite? Or
I feel like what happens is what's really cool is you get to be cranky grandpa, and then you can be all opinionated and cranky, but then you can be you can show your humility. So you don't talk about how great you were at football. You talk about how you got beat up, or like in my own experience, very small. Well, I don't know, a little bit football. That's a good point. Like I volunteered for 20 years doing the chain gang, where they go second down, first down, stuff like this. And then I thought about some of my little bit of high school football, and I don't know, I lost track. I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent.
No, you're good. I think, yeah, go find us.
No, go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, when I was in middle school or whatever, and, people were being mean, or there was this whole weird social hierarchy thing that I felt so petty. I was like, well, I can't wait until I'm an adult and all this, all this bullshit will go away. But it's like, I don't think so. I mean, college to me felt like a big high school, and then like the world at large. I mean, it is pretty petty. So,
but that's part of maturity. Becoming, I guess, caring for other people and empathetic and not being a bully. It's part of being a normal maturity process.
I don't think that's the norm of adults, at least in this society. Do you?
I agree with you, Brandon, because I was going to think about, like, when I think about bullying, I know, right? First time.
Yeah, you had to preface it.
Well, because, hey, but
no, let's go.
I do think this is a young thing. I don't know. Maybe as I get older, I won't think this. Is this me? Who's that?
Tom, are you touching your mic?
We have a new guest.
Oh, got you.
Oh no, I'm fine. I can hear fine. Continue. Perfect.
Great.
Now I think that I think the closer you get with your community and the closer that you get with your peeps, the more that you understand the other, the more you point at the other, the more you bully the other, right? So I think as I get older and I get more into like wherever community I'm in, I start noticing the young people or people that are different than my group more, and I hold them to a standard, and I think that's bullying. Or like, how old people gossip all the time about like the status of their grandparents and their grandkids and all this blah, blah, blah. It's because it's like, it just seems so bully-y to me. And I think it has a lot to do with like being so close-knit together.
Sounds like you're talking about being more judgmental.
Yeah, but it's still bully. Yeah, I think they're still bullies. Like if someone, like if I have a grandkid and they can't live their life because I want them to get married to somebody or do something that I want them to do, and make them feel looser than because of that, that's bullying. And I think that's the same thing with like, I don't know, religious people thinking about people that aren't religious and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and
Like,
some I guess in the male-female relationship, I think men maybe have been somewhat bullying towards women over the years. And fortunately, that's all changing now. There's a lot of change in our society.
yeah. And
Yeah. Can we get Alice online, Sarah, just because we're past our time slot? And this feels like a party episode. You mind staying, Tom, and having two guests at the same time?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. I love it.
All right.
And I'll say one thing about Tom, what you're talking about with the human, or like humans that we're kind of like natural bullies because we're like apex predators, you know, and we're kind of really messed up. No other animal like hunts things that are bigger than it for fun. Like everybody else is like, let me just get like small food because it's small and, you know, smart. But we're like, let's get the biggest thing. Let's get
We're
things.
the ones that have refrigerators, to be fair.
We just want to.
Yeah, refrigerator. Even you're right. Even owning a refrigerator is, you know, I mean, you know, it's bigger than you, it's taller than you, it's wider than you in most cases, you know, and you're like hunting now, and you've got your, you know, like in the animal world. I'm in Oregon, so I go on my bike ride. That's kind of my theme now because I'm riding up this 7,500 feet mountain, and then I got my pads on and stuff. But if I run into a mountain lion, I don't go for the old Walt Disneyism of aggression that sharks started with Jaws. You know, it started with Disney. Who knows? It started with the Romans. We made monsters out of things. And in nature, a mountain lion will select the you know, up here they eat one deer a week, but they're usually the slow and the weaker and the sick deer, and then they hide it, and then they eat the meat later at night. And human beings look at it and they think, oh, mountain lions are awful, and so they hunt them, and then they in Africa, look at these pictures of these guys, you know, next to these things. The
trophy hunting with like the elephants and stuff.
Yeah, and from my hippie background, my dad was a militant. Well, yeah, kind of a militant vegetarian, but he wasn't militant about anything else, you know, because he was a World War II veteran, and he was a medic, so he had seen it all and so on. But if everybody had a little dose of humility, like us grandpas here, we kind of like, that's the best thing you can do to age well, is to lose well and have humility and recognize your bullying and recognize your messed up warrior crap, you know, and transmute and change and, you know, accept, and don't be a dork. That's the grandpa message.
Alice, so happy to have you on. Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, you've been listening in for a little bit, right?
Hot second, yeah.
Yeah. It's gotten crazy, I feel.
Quite the conversation.
Yeah. Have you? I don't even want to say I've ever been hunting, but like it's a.
I've not.
Yeah.
I'm an artist, so
sure.
Not the hunting type.
No, I've not either, actually. But
what's your medium, Alice? What's your medium?
I'm an actor.
Very cool.
Yeah. I got a fancy mic for my voice acting
whoa.
stuff.
Yeah. Amazing.
Quite fun.
You ever bully somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the conversation topic.
Yeah,
and I mean, like, I'm sure at some point I've said something to someone where I didn't know something was going on at home, and they're like, wow, what an asshole. But I have not intentionally gone out of my way to be a jerk to someone. I did get quite a lot bullied when I was younger, but thankfully I have a better judge of character now and can kind of suss out my environments to places where I can flourish.
Yeah. I feel like back in school, it's harder to like be like, oh, these people are toxic. I'm gonna like go to this class because it's like, well, you're forced into the seat that you're in, right?
I had that kind of situation where I was in a class with a friend of mine, and then at the beginning of the semester, I found out that they split from their partner because the friend of mine was an abusive partner, and so I did not want to any way condone that, but you can't just be like, hey, we still have to work together in an acting class for the rest of the semester, but I just don't like you. Like, you can't do that. That's not a mature way to go about things or a healthy way to go about things. So I had to just play nice for a semester and then casually, like, skip by their table on club day.
Yeah.
That's the right reaction. I mean, you want to, people like need to be able to work together and be in that class and still have the ability, like, especially during this year, people are coming apart. So you want to be able to like get along with that person in a pedestrian situation in class, even though that situation is very hard.
Grandpa, Tom was mentioning before the passive aggressiveness.
Yes.
Have you ever been passive aggressive, or is that like a big experience of yours?
I'm sure I've had, incidents like that in my life. Probably when I was younger. I'm sure I have, passive aggressive. Yeah.
I almost like when people are aggressive towards me more than passive aggressive.
There used to be I think I'm getting an echo. There used to be a name for it. They called it upsmanship. I don't know if you've heard that name.
Yeah.
But, it was like trying to like control or overpower others.
Yeah, but if somebody's like honest or open up or upfront about it, it's almost better, than if they do it with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Brent. Go ahead, Grandpa.
No, I was just going to say, like, if I mentioned that you need better lighting.
No, that was very honest, very great.
Yeah. And better than passive aggressively like calling you a ghoul or something. I guess that's not passive.
No. That was that aggressiveness that I love. Finance.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what. Yeah, passive aggressiveness is like my pet peeve, and I'm sure I'm passive aggressive in lots of ways, but it just takes so long and it's so drawn out, and it's like this. It reminds me of watching like Lord of the Rings or something, or like not the actual battle part, but like like Game of Thrones, where it's like a lot of this
the saga of it.
And I get it; that's good for a medium to like watch and enjoy on TV. But in real life, I'm like, please just tell me what you want, because this is so irritating.
You walk by some people and you're like, oh, they're living in a saga right now. Like they're on book 2 of the trilogy in their fucking pettiness or passive aggressiveness. Like,
I mean, if you want more excitement in your life, be passive. I'm sure it's more exciting.
Does it help to have that type of personality for acting?
The confrontational type or the passive type?
Confrontational, or either one, but probably confrontational.
Yeah, what do you think, Alice?
I suppose there's a dance you have to do, because there are some people who are integral to your maturation in your career, and so you have to be nice to them. And even if they maybe say something a little like off, you have to be like, haha, yeah. But then there is like a certain merit to like, hey, what you said during rehearsal was really uncool, and I would appreciate it if you never say that again. It was like, it offended me, and I'm not okay with that. Because if we're going to be working together, we need to be respectful of each other. And if you don't know that you're disrespecting me, then like that's also totally a thing where maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know that they did something bad. And so you have to tell them. I had a friend who I thought she was just being a huge jerk to me, but it turns out that was just her interpretation of how to respect me. And we had a huge conversation about communication after that when we figured out where the disconnect was, because it just seemed like being passive aggressive to each other.
Yeah.
Her interpretation to respect?
Yeah, she would talk to my friends about how best to talk to me about things that she didn't like that I was doing.
Oh, I hate that.
To me, that felt like she was complaining about me behind my back.
Yeah.
But to her, she was trying to gather her resources and make sure that she was coming at me from a respectful place.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge disconnect with us, where I was so insulted and she was like, I was just trying to help. I was just trying to be good. And we had a huge conversation about it and about how our communication methods to respect each other properly.
I guess you have to be not too sensitive to criticism when you're an actor.
Yeah.
If the director's, criticizing something that you're doing in your acting profession, so that you can learn by what they say rather than feeling faulted.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very much you insult me and then I say, thank you. Like, whether it's a note, an insult, like that's the worst scene you've ever done, just thank you.
Yeah.
That's the real acting, is when the notes are being read out and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And to agree with what you're saying too, Alice, about some of the politics that you do have to play are like, there's a tactfulness that you have to go with when you're talking to people. Though I still don't agree, not with you, but like the process, because it makes me think of like gatekeeping. Like, you can't tell someone you feel uncomfortable because they're going to make you feel bad or call you a stick in the mud or not invite you to the next scene. And so I do understand. Well, I kind of understand. This shows me my privilege. I can be someone that just says what I want. It shows you some of my privilege compared to maybe someone else that has to maybe be more tactful because they're afraid to lose something.
Step on toes.
Or what if you're an actor? What if happens if they blacklist you or do something where it makes you hard to work with people because they think that you're too won't take bullying. And so I guess I get what you're saying, but it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, there's this thing on the flip side, and I don't know if you've seen this, Alice, but like I've noticed that like that's true for like 95% of people, and then there's like the 5% who are like, they have like this like James Dean swagger and they don't give a fuck and they'll tell anybody to fuck off and everybody like loves them for it, and they ride that straight like north to success. So
there was once a magician that I knew.
What a start to a sentence.
Yes. He thought he was the cat's pajamas. He said that he took on magic because he had this like deep insecurity and he was like bullied, and so he did magic because that impressed people, but it just blew his ego out of the water. He performed for the Queen of England. He had a website with references from the Queen of England, and he was just like totally amazing. He's the best. Such an air of confidence. And for a while, even I was trapped in that fog. But once, yeah, right. He would hypnotize people. It was this it was a hypnotic kind of aura that he had. This confidence, like I want to be like that. I want to be around that. Yeah. But once I got to stick my head out for a while, he went back to Italy for a while, and I got some space from him, and I realized that not to say that everyone like this is this way, but he was a really destructive force in my life and was not feeding me artistically, humanitarianly, personally. There was no beneficial part to this friendship other than me just being yeah, and then what did the Queen say? That was 90% of the friendship.
Yeah.
And so
the magic faded.
The magic faded, indeed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tom, you were old school Hollywood, right? You must have run into all this stuff.
Yeah. In fact, I love hearing an actress speak about it because I come from 1980 to 1990 Hollywood. So I was a stuntman and I worked on what I call D movies. And I wrote a book called Hollywood D, which is D as in dog, which is didn't sell the movie, didn't get all the parts, kind of like D-list,
Yeah.
But I worked on A-list movies, but I'll be like that magician. What you're talking about, I'll be all glitzy and say that I worked on Valley Girl and Karate Kid 2. But then really my stuff that I worked on was like soft porn, music videos, other crappy stuff that never was released, stupid, really, really lame stuff. And then stuntman, I was a stuntman and I almost died, got knocked out, didn't know who I was, but what I left with was exactly what you have, which is there are rules in getting along as an actor, and there's this professionalism that's really, really, really cool. Like the people that show up and work and take it serious, and like you do, and you already have this. I mean, not already, but you have this wisdom and maturity. I love that. And that part of Hollywood was intact even when I showed up. I saw some old timers that were really cool. And then I saw most crazy people and magician types. And then I saw a lot of people, most people I know died. So, but what stuck with me was the, showing up on the set, being professional, kind of like a Shakespeare play. Shakespeare is still alive in the script.
Yeah.
And actors know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, there can be a magic vibe on set when everyone's like in sync and working together and here to be professional and get it done and they're passionate. It's a beautiful thing.
Love it. Love it.
Brandon, do you prefer to certain types of scripts or certain characters to play, or it doesn't really matter? In other words, a good guy or a bad guy, whatever.
It's funny. I mean, you knew me when I was little, but I was like very excitable and like, I'd say on the sweeter side. And I don't know if it's because of how great I've aged or whatever, but like I frequently get sent. It's almost all let's say like the underworld, right? Like a lot of antagonist characters when I get sent auditions or work on stuff. So
you like that?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Grandpa. I'm sorry.
So you like playing the bad character, the bad actor?
No, I think. I mean, this is a little off topic, but like the parts that are the most fun are the ones where people are like, oh, they're clearly written as irredeemable or unlikable or one-dimensional, and then getting to like. I think if I can do anything like kind of well, it's probably like playing one of those as a real human being, and then.
Maybe this question is too broad for you, Tom, but how did you feel about actors? You were really doing a different type of acting. How do you feel about the regular cast generally, the people that are actors when you were doing your type work?
The thing that struck me was the seriousness of it. I many times I didn't take it serious, and so like we had Dukes of Hazzard TV shows and soap operas, and I didn't want to do those. I wanted to do bigger movies, but even the TV shows, if you watch those old ones, there's a real cool seriousness that actors have, and they're locking in almost like a time machine, and so the fact that they show up and they perform, even if it's ice punks or some spoof on something or other, or even those nudie films. I mean, they were stupid, but forget that group. I don't know but there was a seriousness to all levels of acting, and I couldn't have taken it serious enough. Like I did many years of acting class and acting this and that and whatnot. I used to hear them talk about it being serious and read Stanislavski, and he seemed so serious, you know, it was like life or death. But now I kind of get it, especially when I hear somebody like Alice, you know, her professionalism and, you know, and showing up and being there is, that's as cool as it gets.
Alice, what's the last performance that you did or were in? The last show or movie or whatever?
I was fortunate enough to get to be in a Zoom play, trying to still be in work during this nonsense. So I got to be in a show called Veils of Justice, which was about the true story of the first Saudi Muslim man to be convicted of any crime in New York since 9/11. So a light play. I was his lawyer, and spoiler alert, he won his case. So I got to do that, and it was really amazing. And the writer was personally connected to the story. And we actually got to have the real guy who was the defendant in the call. And that was crazy.
Oh, cool.
But it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Cool.
We're just about out of time, but do you guys have any last thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, not me. Go ahead, y'all.
No, you'll stay on, Phines. If you're on the poster, you're good.
No, I mean, there's a lot of dimension to what's happening in the world at the moment. And I'm just trying to artistically seize it. And it's great that there are forums where people can get on and yak about this for a while. So thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you. We'd love to have you back. Thanks, Tom.
Oh, yes, please.
Thank you. And my message is drink lots of coffee and don't be a bully.
Hey, in that order.
Retweet.
Yeah, there we go.
And I love that. I love Alice's message. That's great. And Grandpa, have humility. Don't date magicians. And don't be a bully. It's great.
That's a great.
Too.
Don't date magicians is going to be the title of the.
Fantastic.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, you guys
hope to have you guys on soon.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool. And then we got Benin and Natasha.
All right. Natasha, guten Tag.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
I sent
same.
a new link. So there you are, Ben. Send him his feed links. Hopefully he'll be on soon. How are you, Natasha? Where are you from?
I'm doing great. I live in Central Jersey, kind of close to the shore.
Nice.
See, so it's not just me. It's not something that I made up. The New Englanders.
Hello.
This program.
Hey, can you hear us on the clean feed, Benin? How you doing, Natasha?
I'm good, thanks. Took today off. Ran a last couple errands because I don't want to leave the house after tomorrow for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of all the turkey, or?
I don't really feel very safe around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Monmouth County, and it is crazy.
Oh, you're in Monmouth. I'm also in Monmouth County.
I'm in Wall. So.
All right. So
I live in Freehold.
Right.
Like 20
Yeah.
minutes from me.
Yeah. You get the best mall in Central Jersey.
This is true, but we'll not be able to take advantage of it for a while.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been here for 3 years, and it's great. Yeah, there's a lot to do.
Yeah. It's been 20 for me, and I hate it. So, you know.
I'm not originally from New Jersey, so everything's still like kind of new.
Oh, I thought you were. I don't know. You give off the Jersey vibe.
I'm the Jersey girl. Don't tell me that. Not what I'm striving for.
No, yeah. Every part of me, I've like tried to wash off the Jersey, but.
I've been here for almost 10 years now, Maryland.
Okay. I don't. don't have a stereotype for Maryland people.
I was born in New York, so I've been kind of all over the place.
Are there crabs in Maryland, or is that? No, I'm thinking of lobster.
Yeah.
Crabs are a very big thing. My parents do this party every year with like over 100 people where they just eat crabs like all day long, and I hate seafood. So it's very sad for me because it looks like it should be delicious because people are having so much fun and enjoying it. But I don't even want to. I just in the corner eating my burger.
Dang.
We've been talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but bullying, and like I guess history with that. I don't know, thoughts, views,
Hypnotism.
I have been bullied a lot and hypnotized a little. Not at the same time.
Got you.
Right.
Yeah. Grandpa would do both.
Yeah, bullying. That's a big one. Yeah. Pretty much throughout all of elementary school, middle school, even high school a little bit. Kids will find anything. I was bullied for having like brown hair. Like they will find literally anything to make fun. I remember like some kid told me my hair was the color of poop. And I like hated my hair for like years. Like because brown hair is so rare. Like I was a hairy little Italian girl. So I had like a unibrow and like hairy arms and hairy legs. And I got made fun of like constantly for that. I was like begging my mom to shave when I was like 10 and she was like, no. I was like coming home in tears like every day. I was bullied for reading all the time because I was like a little nerd. Everything. But as an adult, I feel like I still kind of get bullied for like my parenting style or like whatever. People can find some way. When you guys are talking about passive aggressive, like someone will just make like a side-handed comment about the fact that like my kid's eating dessert before dinner or something. Like
yeah. Right. So it doesn't get I mean, I don't know, but maybe Grandpa's the one kind person in the world, but like the that like social structure of just like sort of like being mean, like it doesn't seem like it goes down, right?
No. Like I've been in the area for only a couple of years. So I joined all these different mom groups. I have a 3-year-old. So I was trying to meet other moms in the area. And I've been in like 4 different like mom groups from like Facebook or whatnot. And every time there's always this clique that emerges that like kind of just like makes fun of all the other moms. And like in almost every group I've been in, like most of the people end up leaving because everyone's mean. Like
I don't think I've ever heard of a good mom group on Facebook.
Right? Like and the idea is great. Like, yeah, moms supporting each other, but like it's not. Like that never works out.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Did you ever experience that as a father, Grandpa?
You're talking about being bullied? Are you I'm not exactly sure.
Well, just like I don't know.
Were there dad
being around other parents? Yeah.
No, because I never really hung out in those kind of situations. You know, I really didn't. I would say I was more of a loner. And now in high school, junior high school, we had like a little clique, but not in my later years in my adult life. No.
Gotcha.
No. So where are you actually? So you're from New York, Natasha?
I was born in New York, grew up in Maryland, and I've been in New Jersey for the past 10 years. So we bought our forever home a couple years ago. So we're here for the long haul, in theory.
Mm-hmm. And what type of career do you have?
I work in the pharmaceutical industry, working on new drug trials. So it's kind of interesting. I work from home fully. I used to commute like 2 hours each way and said like enough of that. So when everyone started being remote due to COVID, I was like, welcome to my world.
So you probably work with one of the big pharmaceutical companies?
I work for actually like a small boutique company now. I have worked for bigger companies in the past for Teva, Celgene, Covance, but the company I work for now is very small. They just have a few studies. I kind of like working for small companies because the work you do like really matters. They don't have like tons of resources. I've worked at big companies where there's just like too many people doing the same job and nothing gets done.
So what kind of an education do you have for that type of career?
I have a bachelor's in chemistry and also in writing. So it's good because like I do a lot of like technical writing type stuff, procedural documentation. I started a PhD program and left after a year because those are insane.
Is that Benin?
Hello?
No, we were getting an echo.
Yeah, I
We're
hear that.
having an echo now. Well,
You brought up something about being half hypnotized. What's that about?
Is someone else on the clean feed?
Oh wait, yes, Valerie. Hi, Valerie.
Oh.
I'm gonna mute you real quick
Yes.
until your time.
Okay.
Didn't see you there. That's my bad. Go ahead. Keep telling me things.
Tell me about your half hypnotism.
Yeah.
I used to go to like the Renaissance Fair a lot. Maryland has this amazing Renaissance Fair, and they'll do the like kind of screener to see if you're a good subject for hypnosis. And I would usually get screened in, but then never actually make it through the hypnosis. But watching the other people that were hypnotized is like the coolest thing ever. Like it's pretty trippy. It's wild what they can do.
Yeah, Grandpa said that it depends on the type of person, but like, what does that mean? Like,
I think you have to be very open to suggestion. I think if you go into it super skeptical and closed-minded, like it's not gonna work because like the whole time you're just gonna be like, this isn't working.
yeah,
Hey, Ben,
it
we've
has
got
to be
you.
excuse me.
Sorry about that. Wait, I see you, Ben. I see
It has
you.
to be a suggestible person. They have to,
Yep.
be able to
Yeah.
concentrate and take suggestion.
Yeah. I feel like you have to be like, I don't know, able to like kind of free up your mind, like able to not be focusing and thinking about other things. But because whenever I would see it done, they would have like 30 or 40 people they would bring up and they would do these screener things. So you would shut your eyes and they'd have you do different, they'd suggest things to you and see what you would do, move your arms and stuff. And then the people that didn't do it would go sit back down until they ended up with like an elite 10 hypnotizable people.
Being in the work that you do, how do you feel about the trials that are going on right now? I guess I don't need to say anymore.
I'm really scared. I love the idea of having a vaccine quickly, but I'm worried just about the actual amount of data that they have. Normally, you look at years and years of safety and efficacy data, especially long term. I'm working on a trial right now that was a 5-year trial, and the patients are rolling into another 5-year extension study. So we're going to have at least like 10 years of data for this drug. So just having these drugs come out that we're basing this off of 6 months, maybe a year of data. I know the latest results from Moderna coming out saying that it's 95% effective. We're based on only a handful of people that actually contracted COVID. I think only about 100 people in the trial actually got COVID. So it's exciting, but it's really scary because I'm worried that people see it as like, this is it. Like, this is going to save us. We're going to be good to go. And once the vaccine drops, people are going to start to be more reckless, and it may not be like the amazing solution that it's being advertised as.
Yeah.
Well, since it's a very big economic situation for the United States and the world,
Yeah.
what do you think we should do? I mean, you can't shut down the economy forever. A lot of people are losing their businesses. They can't support themselves. And then on the other side of it is, the vaccine, which you're taking a chance.
Yeah, it's kind of a loaded question. Like, hindsight's 2020. If we had shut down things a lot stricter, a lot earlier, we wouldn't be facing these questions necessarily at this level right now. I think the governors need to continue to leave certain things up to individual townships. Like here in New Jersey, I've heard that the like next wave of school closures and stuff will be up to the individual towns to discern based on the resources that they have for closing down their schools. And maybe they need to do that type of stuff with all business, because a lot, you know, for instance, in North Jersey, the cases have tend to be a lot worse than in Central and Southern Jersey. But I mean, for my part, we just really don't leave the house. Like, we're continuing to, you know, shop online at some of our favorite retailers and to buy gift cards to some of our favorite restaurants, but just try and.
Would you be willing to take the vaccination when it first, you know, when it's available?
I would need to spend a lot of time reading like very specific paperwork on the safety and efficacy trials. I'd like to say yes, but I definitely would want to read more about it before I would make a decision.
What do you think, Bennett?
I think. Oh wait, is my volume on? Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah,
okay.
We hear you well. Yep.
All right. As far as the vaccine goes, I would definitely I would say wait for about 1,000 more people to do it first, and then based on the past results, because I've never even gotten a flu shot in my life, so.
Yeah. It's interesting what you said, Natasha. I always thought that they were trying to pack 5 years of studies into the 6 months, but it's only 100 people for Moderna.
No. So there are 30,000 people that were administered the vaccine, but they can't give people COVID. Yeah. So it's a small number of people that actually got COVID that they're basing the information off of. And they're saying, X number of people that got COVID had placebo and X number had the vaccine. But yeah, I mean, in order to actually see thousands of people get COVID, you would have to administer the trial to millions. Yeah. So it's just really hard to have that data. Luckily, the question, well, I won't have to make the choice of will I be one of the first people to get it, because it won't be offered to me. You know, it will go to at-risk people, to emergency service workers, essential employees. Grandpa. So unfortunately, they're going to be our canaries in the coal mine. But yeah. I feel like, you know, people that are on the front line are probably more willing to take that risk because they're putting themselves at risk every day. So it's kind of well, I'd rather take an experimental vaccine than continue to have nothing protecting me. Yeah. So, and I haven't seen anything negative safety-wise coming out of the trials. So that's encouraging, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, what about you, Benin? Are you... Oh, go Phines. Sorry.
Go ahead, Bennett.
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Oh no. What? I'm lagging a little bit. I think. My bad. I'll stop.
Bennett, have we talked before?
No, this is our first. No, this is my first time. So that's why I was having some technology problems before I got on.
Okay. You ever bully anybody? Been bullied?
You just put him on the spot. Are you a bully?
Who? Tell me who it was.
Oh, Phines, that's why in my experience of listening to the show, you're my favorite.
Oh, well, thank you. We're all friends here. Yeah.
No, I never have been a bully. It would be kind of hard for a person in a wheelchair to bully somebody else.
I don't know.
No, I've never been a bully, but it's a very easy thing to observe from my level, because it's sitting in a wheelchair, it gives you a different perception, so you can watch things a little bit clearer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's okay, it looks like he's just patting him on the back, but I can see there's a little bit of intimidation in the schoolyard.
I see.
So you kind of got a nice bird's eye of a lot of situations.
Yeah, that's why I like to sit on hillsides a lot too. I see everything.
Do you think
Where are you based out of, Benin?
Yeah.
I am from Haliburton, Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Are you in Canada right now?
Yep.
What's it like to have functioning everything?
Cold. We're getting snow already.
Oh no! Do you like the cold?
No. like if we didn't have this COVID, I'd be like, Mom, get the car. We're going to Florida.
See, I don't know. I like cold way better than hot because it's so much easier to get like warm. But when you're hot, this is too late.
Dude, we always hot. You know it.
I used to think that.
No,
the cold.
I say that until once I get once it's a little cold is when I complain. But I don't know. I've been hot and sweaty, and it's not comfortable.
I think that depends on your level of hot. Like, I don't like a Canadian summer hot, but I like a nice okay, you just finished a workout at the gym kind of hot.
Okay, what's the Canadian
that is
summer?
hot, very hot.
What's the Canadian summer like? What is that?
It's about like if you go to Florida, it's like April in Florida.
Oh, so it's nice. Okay.
It depends how long you're outside, but.
Ben, what is it like being in Canada, looking down at this mess that we have over here?
Well, I mean, at first, before anyone knew how bad it was going to be, I was actually laughing at everybody when they're panicking about the toilet paper and all those things, because I have cerebral palsy, so I stay at home a lot longer than other people do.
Yeah.
So it's like, amateurs, I know how to write this out.
Are you gonna hold up? What's up? How do you do it?
How do I do what?
What's your secret?
Yeah,
what's my secret to surviving?
Yeah.
I would say Netflix is definitely a key ingredient.
I guess Natasha's the same way because she's been working remotely for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't leave the house. I
About
get Peapod and Amazon. Don't leave ever.
about a
And you guys neither one of you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What are you saying?
a 50-50 like and dislike of humans in general, and a supportive family that definitely helps.
Retweet.
Okay.
I'm with you there, but more like 20-80.
Mm.
I'm gonna guess 80% suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do Amazon Subscribe and Save, so I get all my essentials once a month, toilet paper, paper towels. I was so mad when everyone else started doing it. I was like, hey, I was already doing this. Can I still get my stuff? Like, come on.
Stealing my money.
Yeah, I still live with my parents, and they bring everything home. So it's like I got an Uber driver and I got a grocery delivery guy. So
We're good to go.
Yeah. 5-star review.
Depends on who it is. 4.5 for some of them.
Yeah, that's so funny. What is the 50 or 20% that is good? Like what's the positivity that you're feeling, you guys?
I would say the positivity that I'm feeling at least is like, since I live on disability, I don't really have to worry about a job at the moment. I'm just hunting for jobs because I'm bored.
What kind of stuff are you looking into?
Well, I found you guys on Backstage. I was looking first of all,
Yes,
like
Backstage.
yeah, I'm hoping to get voiceover work, whether it's like audiobook narration or just voiceover for like cartoons, because that way it's a way I can go to work and my disability is not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great like virtual productions and stuff right now. One of the other guests was speaking to that earlier, but I did a virtual production like a week or two ago, and like I just chilled at my house and performed, and it was super fun and a lot safer than going into a studio right now.
You say you've been observant of bullies quite a while, Benin. Could you act as one? Do you think you'd be a good actor a voice actor for a bully? Since you've been watching so many of them.
Oh yeah, like I haven't watched a lot. First of all, if I did notice it, it wasn't like the whole school was talking about it.
Yeah.
But if I could, like my favorite characters are always the villainous ones, so I could because it's the exact opposite of who I am, and that's why I like it. I get to be the opposite of myself, being a villainous character.
I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if I could, I would have been like, if I was in Lord of the Rings, I'd be like Sauron.
Really? He's an asshole.
I know, but the world is full of them, so you might as well. If you're getting paid, you might as well become one for a while.
I'd be Golem. I think it'd be so much more fun. because then I could be insane. Yeah,
Trust.
and then talk to your
Trust.
and yeah, you talk to yourself.
There we go.
I'm all for it. Yeah, because then you can be self-deprecating, but not really, because it's just your second personality. I'm for that one.
Fair enough.
I don't know about Saron. He's too evil.
Well, I also like him because he doesn't say much. So it's just like, here I am, I dress in black, I walk around, and eventually my ring gets thrown in the fire. Here's my paycheck.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's my picture.
Have you seen No Country for Old Men? I know it's a random movie. Anyway,
I've seen like clips of it.
well, the antagonist on there, I would love to be his role because he's so like, he's just so evil, and there's like no like talking him down. He's just like straight, like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you and your family, and there's nothing you can do, you know.
Javier Bardem, right?
Yeah, and I thought that was such a good role, and I just was like, I always been like, man, I would love to play a role like that, not because I want to do that, just because I thought it was just really good acting. But it kind of reminds me of what you're doing with Sarah, because he doesn't say much, he just does bad.
Fair enough.
Well, all right, well,
Great. Grandpa, what were you about to say?
Well, I was just going to ask Ben if he has any type of recording equipment to, listen to his own voice on a recording.
Well, I do. I have what I'm talking into right now is a Blue Snowball. It's a USB microphone. And then I have an audio recording program, Audacity, if you guys know that one.
Mm-hmm.
I usually tend to turn it into an MP3 file and then listen back to it. And then I go, okay, is it worth keeping, or is it just throw in the trash can or the folder of bad ideas?
Do you send out any samples of your work to any agent or studio or whatever to do the voiceover?
I have on Backstage they allow you to build a profile where you can post those. So if you go on the site, if you guys ever want to recruit me, you can just make sure you type my name right. You should be able to find all my samples. They have a whole section where it's like, okay, audio samples, resume, all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, I haven't interrupted any of the guests while I've been trying to get in, have I? Because I'm like, you can edit that out, right?
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Okay, good. Because I was like, originally I didn't expect to have this problem, but I think I figured it out now. Because it's like, okay, when you get onto the clean feed, I just pressed the exit button to get out of the link, and then just click start, so it got me going. And then I almost wanted to go like, Mr. Fox. That's one reason.
Been good.
No, because I kept addressing you that way when we were talking, because it was like, I feel like I'm working alongside Batman, at least in some way.
I specifically noticed that in your messages, it would always start Mr. Fox, period, and then the rest of the thing. So I would always be like, Dear Benin. And I felt like there was like a whole, I don't know, a journey there for sure.
You're also so far the first guy to give me a role from Backstage, so I was trying to be as professional as possible.
Yeah. Wow, look at you, Brandon. Wow.
Yeah, Mr. Fox is like, that's what my mom calls me. So
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
No, it's not. I'm so happy that we got you on, for real. I know we were trying last week, but and to have Natasha back as well.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. When you sent that first email, the timing of it kind of threw me off because I'm a night owl, and then when I get it at 1 a.m, I'm like, okay, this is great, but I'll click it later because right now I'm watching a movie. And then I fell asleep and missed my chance. So I was like, okay, I didn't quite blow it.
No. And you're absolutely, both of y'all are invited on, for real. Like, formal invitation anytime.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Yeah.
I just had a question for Natasha. We've all been talking about our what role we want to play. Is there a role that you would like to play if you were an actor?
Yeah, I love being the obnoxious, snobby, like the kind of Regina George in Mean Girls, like the Mean Girl in Clueless. I don't know if you're familiar with Emma Roberts at all, but every role she's played, that's like my favorite character that I gravitate towards.
Nice.
That and also like Psychos. I'm very into Harley Quinn. I've done like a lot of character studies of her and some like monologues that I've written in like her style. Those are like my two crazy people and obnoxious snobby people.
It's so interesting what we're into because even Brandon was talking about how he likes being like the antagonist role.
Yeah.
You know, Bennett wants to be Sauron, and I want to be like it. Just seems really weird, or it's just weird that we're just talking about how bad bullying is, but yet we want to play the bully so bad, and how it seemed like it'd be so much fun.
It's the people that want to play nice roles that you have to really look twice at. They're the unusual ones.
They're the ones that are nuts, huh? But yeah,
Yep.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
What's also
really like
so
your-
interesting. Oh, my bad.
Well, I was going what?
Just
You said,
that every person that came on here was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not a bully, and we've all had experiences being bullied except Grandpa, and Grandpa's like the nicest person I know.
Well, I couldn't remember any time that I had been bullied, but when I think back now, yes, I probably was bullied several times when I was a child.
Gotcha.
I feel like now he could take on just about anybody with his eyes. Like, you could just give him one look, and it's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Hypnotism.
bringing me back.
But I didn't
cool.
think of the hypnosis that I did with children when I was a kid as being as bullying. I did it more. It was kind of just a prank or just having fun when I was maybe 11, 12 years old.
No, I wish I had seen it. Like, yeah, you should hypnotize one of us sometime.
But well, it very
That
much
would be a good
depends on-
episode.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Rosie's giving you the little stage hook. So we've got more guests coming up. Do you guys have any last thoughts or any handles you want to drop?
Thank you so much for having me on again. My handle is on Instagram is my name natasha.purdum. Just have like different pictures from little modeling shoots and acting things I'm doing. I just got an Instagram like a month ago, so trying to get some followers.
All right.
Benna?
Thank you so much.
Well, if you guys want to look for me, once again, you can go to the Backstage website, or you can follow me on Instagram at Rolling Dragon Media. If you want to come find me and see how this dragon burns through negativity and stereotypes.
Yes.
Love it.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you
Hope to
guys
see
so
y'all
much.
soon.
Have a
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, you guys.
Have a
Happy
great
Thanksgiving and happy
See ya.
living in Canada. Not
Yeah, we're already ahead of you Thanksgiving-wise.
yeah. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Okay, so our timing has just been excellent this whole episode.
Tell me how good it's been, Sierra.
It's so good because it's 7:00 or it's 8:00, which means it is time for Tracy. But we also have Valerie, who's been patiently waiting.
Yeah. Let's get Valerie
whole day
and
of
Tracy.
twofers.
But Valerie is not on the Zoom.
I can
But-
be, but it's on my other browser. So,
Oh, you can do both at the same time. It's all right.
Yeah.
huh.
Valerie,
Yeah.
we finally get to Grandpa, Valerie. I don't think y'all got to see each other in
No.
person, but
Did not.
Here we
Hello.
go.
Hi, nice to meet you, Valerie.
Nice to meet you as well.
Grandpa.
I was
find his
listening
book.
to the other one here. I want to see if this backdrop's gonna work. I think it needs to be wider. Anyway,
it looks perfect.
I was interested in what Natasha was saying about the vaccines. I didn't know, she seemed to be so knowledgeable. I didn't know if she had a medical background or not.
Yeah, she works in that field. She does trials for other types of
Does she work for a drug company? Is that?
She does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. My big thing is there's different kinds of vaccines. Are they blended vaccines or are they neutralizers? You want the neutralizer. You want the killer.
What's the difference between a blended?
A blended is basically what happens when you get a flu shot every year is they take a little bit of the dead virus and they inject it into you, hoping that your immune system will produce this cytokine storm and you develop your own immunity. That's why some people get sick from it, is because they're still kind of getting the virus. Whereas that's why I was interested in the Moderna one, is because it used an RNA derivative that actually knocked off, those little spores that come up from the virus.
Mm-hmm.
It prevented them from adhering to hosts. So I thought that was the logic behind that vaccine. So I'm curious what the other ones are going to be doing.
Would you take a vaccine if it came out tomorrow?
No.
It seems to be the consensus, and it's like
I have to see. Yeah.
Like
Are
the government's. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Are you in the pharmaceutical business? Is that
No,
your
I'm a
profession?
retired nurse practitioner.
Okay.
Yeah. Who went into acting.
What would make you take a vaccine after it comes out? Like
the data.
Yeah.
Definitely the data. And this is such a strange virus in that it affects so many. It affects different age groups in different ways.
Yeah.
And I would want to see whether they, how many people they tested it on, really. I haven't heard anything about animal tests yet. Have you? I'm assuming that they've taken place.
Well,
hey, Tracy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. The lady that was on was saying that the amount of people that actually have gotten the virus, in trials, is very small. The number of people that have actually been tested. And she works in that field.
And was that the Johnson and Johnson or the AstraZeneca or the Moderna one?
Moderna, I think.
Yeah.
The Moderna.
Pfizer, could be Moderna. Was it Moderna?
Yeah, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Moderna, I think, are the ones that have something right now. I tend to look to foreign countries, too, to be truthful with you, because they have universal health care, and a lot of their things are funded by the government as opposed to being funded by, big farm.
Mm-hmm.
But anymore, I don't even know if that's valid anymore because big farm has plants over in Europe too.
What is your opinion of the way that this whole situation with COVID-19 has been handled by this administration, our government?
Oh, horrible. They knew about it in January. They only had to look to Italy. And you have to test, track, and then quarantine. And we just are now this summer testing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's why some numbers are up, is because we're just testing more. They still are not giving the ratio of deaths per positive test.
Well, it seems to vary a lot.
Percentage, yeah.
What about you, Tracy? Would you take a vaccine if it came out tomorrow?
Oh, hi, everyone. No, I wouldn't. Ever. I'm not ever taking it.
Ever.
You're not ever taking it?
No.
How come?
Just not. I mean, none of it. Even if it was something like chemotherapy, if I had cancer, I wouldn't do that either.
I wouldn't do chemo either, but I mean, I'll take I'll take the vaccine.
I
Only because, I'm in the third chapter right now. This is the third book of the trilogy here. So,
But you look at something like the vaccinations that we were given as children, and they helped a lot. Whether it be smallpox or polio or whatever, Salk vaccine.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
What would
sure.
What would keep you guys from chemo?
It's painful.
I don't believe. To me, you need to support the immune system rather than kill it off. And basically, that's what chemo does. Is you're bombing for peace, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And actually, there are immunotherapies out there, but they're the last mode of treatment. It's just that, chemo is the first line of treatment for cancers. And I don't know if that's always a good thing.
Yeah. I also feel like capitalism is probably helpful for a lot of industries, but I don't know about the medical one, right? Like if they have found the cure for balding, but like they're making $1 billion selling Propecia, like why would they?
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm acquainted with it, but I'm not so. I look to science, but at the same time, I'm not naive about how everything functions because I started in the healthcare industry when it was run by the religious orders.
Yeah, you okay, Grandpa?
And in the 80s, when the HMOs, when it was privatized to contain costs, well, we know where that went, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I'm so curious to ask you two. Have you ever bullied or been bullied?
have I ever been bullied?
Yeah, that's the theme of today. Neither. That's amazing.
No.
I don't believe it. I don't believe either one of y'all two.
My younger sister, if you count siblings.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, if you count siblings,
Yeah.
Both of y'all been bullies before.
When you have siblings, you know what buttons to push, and you usually go for it if you're angry enough. And I have to admit that I did do that to my younger sister because she was just unbearable.
Yeah. It gets a real rouse out of you when you see someone upset that gets them upset. It's like, yeah, I know it gets you upset. I'm an only person. Oh man, yeesh, I need to get checked out.
When you see somebody upset.
were you the one bullied or you did the bullying?
I've been on both sides, and you know what? I didn't dislike either one that much. I'm sure there was days where I went home was like, dang man, I need to look at myself and how I'm bullying people. And there's other days where I looked at myself and go, man, being bullied sucked. But I don't know. It's okay.
It's funny you mentioned that as a topic because even now as adults, people don't realize, but on social media is what social media does. They're like even just bullying the president. I know people didn't like the current president, but it was a form of bullying that adults were doing, and then you go and tell children don't do it, but yet you get on there and make memes about them and you tease them and you do. But I never agree with any of that, regardless of what I think you did wrong or did right, or any of them, not just President Trump, but anybody. I just don't.
Anything that's venomous. It's displaced anger, and I've always, when all that began, I just said I'm not posting anything that is venomous.
I didn't either. And he has a son. His young son has to live with that.
Right.
For his life
Right.
as well. So it's kind of hard, and people don't think about it. They're just out here just bashing and making memes of him and anybody else. I just never agreed with any. It's just sad to me to see it. And then we tell children not to do it, but we're the example that they're seeing. So, or they are the example because I don't do it. So
I have a question then. Because we have talked about, this is the bullying episode apparently of the podcast. And for some reason, we also keep bringing up child abuse. But then we also have had our pettiness podcast episode. So if we combine all of these, my question is it bullying if someone deserves it? And if it is bullying, is it fair? Go off, Valerie.
No, it's never. To me, it's never justified. You can't say somebody deserves it, because then you're sitting in moral judgment on a person, and
I agree.
we have a right to do that.
Right.
Just always know that the person who bullies, that springs from having been bullied themselves, or some type of trauma. It's like, what you ask is, what happened to you?
Well, now it's upgraded. People bully for, back to social media, for likes, to become popular, to go viral. They make a funny meme about someone, so it's turned into some sort of a narcissistic thing now. So,
are you two both on? Are you guys both on Facebook?
Yes,
I am.
So, so you've noticed a marked difference from like before social media times and like now? Like it's just a different kind of thing, or?
Well, now we see it more because you can post it. It was always there, but now it's more visual. So you have a chance to post someone getting beaten up. You have getting beat up. You have a chance to post teasing somebody, and people will get a kick out of it. I told my daughter, don't post stuff.
Yeah. I also think you don't get much time to think about it either. Like, there's times when I could say something mean in my head and not say it to somebody. But if I had Twitter or Facebook, I maybe would have said it like just because I was feeling it at that moment. So I think there's a little bit of that too. Yes.
Yeah. To me, I'm amazed that these are just opinions. It's not who people are. If they feel this way, then that's who they are, and it's not true. These are thoughts. These are people became so invested in politics, and I have to remind them it's an opinion. That's all it is.
Yeah, but
tomorrow, it's not you. It's not a belief system.
No.
Yeah,
it's a temporary opinion that stays forever. I mean, it's like scripture.
I agree with Valerie though. I always wonder why people get so upset about like people can say whatever they want about me. That's what I'm saying. I don't really have a hard time bullying or being bullied because they can say whatever they want about me, but you're not my food, you're not my water, you're not my mom, or, you're not really your opinion of me doesn't do anything. I mean, to me personally, I'm sure I'll lose a job one day or something because of being bullied. I don't know. And then I'll feel differently. But at this very moment, there's really no sweat off my back when someone feels some type of way about me.
Well,
I'm worried about you right now, Grandpa. But just are you okay?
He's giving me a hard time. I might have to move away for a minute. He's fighting me and tearing the keys off the keyboard.
His parakeet.
I'm wearing a bird.
Rosie.
We're talking about bullying, but like in the midst of it, Grandpa's literally getting chunks ripped out of him.
You were about to say something, Tracy?
Sorry.
I forgot what it was. All right.
I think social media just makes it bully. It's because it creates this little bubble that you live in. It's kind of like when you swear in your car. I mean, I'm terrible when I'm driving. I really am. You're kind of insulated.
Yeah.
And I think Facebook is like that sometimes.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Tracy?
I think I was gonna tailgate what Phines? Is it Phines?
Phines.
Phines. Said it may not bother you if one or two people have an opinion about you or say something you don't like, but it would subconsciously when you lay down at night, it would start. Especially if more than one person did, it would bother you.
Yeah, I bet if I was on a platform, I agree. If I was on a platform, like if I was Trump's son, or if I was someone that had big enough, like everyone's saying, you're a terrible person, I'll probably be like, dang, man, if everybody's saying it,
Right.
it'd be narcissistic of me not to think that, right?
The other thing too is a friend of mine said this a few years ago. I don't know, maybe it's just getting older, but it's like, I'm not for everybody. That's
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I had this is something I always had a hard time thinking about was like only God can judge me, and I was all thinking about like I don't know because I've never been judged by God, but I've definitely been judged by everyone around me. They have done it. I've seen them judging me. So them like that saying to me never like I always felt some type of way. I'm like I don't know, man. I don't know if this is so true because people stay judging. I hear them all the time judging people. And it does affect you.
Yeah.
It's
So I think social, like again, I'm on social media. Like, yeah, it's just made everything so bad. Our perceptions of people, things, how we think about family, how you deal with your children, what your children see, how we treat each other. Social media driven.
Get off Facebook. I don't have Facebook. Let's do it.
Well,
I'm off of it.
I only get on there because I needed to advertise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's become that, definitely.
Which is just insane.
I loved your point though, Tracy. I didn't think of it. I always thought that the social media was the cause, but like you saying like it's always been there, it just sort of unveils it. It's a little sad but true, right?
Yeah. Facebook is like just a social experiment in impulse control. Like
and
they won. I mean, we lost, right?
Yeah, it's clearly.
We learned we don't have it. Like we're just basically robots if they figure it out. Yeah. Also, hi Sonny.
Hello.
Hey Sonny, do you think I'm a bully?
We can't. Are you on the clean feed?
Yeah, but it's a myth.
No. The answer is yes, Phines. give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if he's a bully.
Sonny knows. Oh no! Yes. Good.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, Sonny, try to like close out and come back in.
To your point before, Valerie, of like it is necessary advertisement. I just like I don't know. I feel like you have to do like a.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Loud and clear.
Like a price.
He's a bully. He's an opposite of the bully.
Aw. That's so
actually
sweet.
Yeah, and you know what? I wanna mention something about what someone here said about Donald Trump and how people bully him. I'm like, yeah, that's totally fair because I feel like Democrats are what got Donald Trump elected in the first place because they kept talking about how stupid he was and sharing all of his videos, sharing all of his content, and then people that agreed with him were like, why are you making fun of my beliefs? And seriously, think about whenever someone tells you that you're not good enough or whenever they like come at you in a certain type of way, it gets you in this instinct where you're like, what? Like you almost want to retaliate immediately. And I think that is what created this entire culture in the first place of just like combatantly, just this whole culture of just attacking each other now for each other's beliefs. I mean, I can't believe people have the audacity to like go up to people and say, why aren't you wearing a mask? Like, while I agree with I just don't have that kind of courage to go up to someone and confront them about why they're not wearing a mask. I just could never do that. But I have been a bully. And I've also been bullied.
If you was endangering your life, say you were sitting across the aisle in an airplane.
I still wouldn't. I've actually, you know what? Legitimately, I've been in it.
I would do that shit.
Yeah,
that's brave. I feel too nervous. Like I'm not a confrontational person.
What about
today?
Sandy? What about if you had a loved one with you? Let's say you had a child or you had a wife who was vulnerable to COVID-19. It could kill them or whatever. you still wouldn't speak up and say something to the person?
I mean, you know, in a world where I'm married and that person needs, I probably would then. In that case,
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's just hard for me.
Passive aggressive about it, though. It was like, I hope I'm not being, I hope I'm not being nasty, but would you mind something like that? I give them the choice and just
or you offer your spare mask or
What's up, Tracy?
Tracy, what's up?
I would just move away from them. If I was on the plane, I would ask the stewardess.
You can't on a plane.
Well, I would ask the stewardess, "Can I change?"
Right, that would be the first choice.
Because I don't know why they're not wearing a mask. Some people may have a breathing; they just can't have them. I know, they could have something else going on.
Then you should have You should have drove yourself. I don't know, girl. You should have.
I was on the train today, and I was next to a guy. He was actually sitting 2 seats back from me, and got up and moved in front of me. He didn't have on a mask. I got up and went all the way to the front of the train.
Right? Yeah. As long as
people are so on edge now because of COVID-19 and financial issues that the least little question you ask someone, people pop, and you just don't want to create that kind of scenario. It's easier just to get yourself out of the situation.
It's easier to wear a mask.
It's easier to wear a mask, but if they don't, I got mine on, so.
That's a good point. You never know how crazy the person that you just meet is. So
I've had my confrontational days. I'm tired. I'm not.
Yeah, seriously. And that's how I feel about it. Like, if I need to say something, I'm not going to be passive aggressive about it. I'm going to be direct. Like, hey man, there's people on this train, on this plane that don't need you to be breathing up stuff that we don't want. So put on a mask, please. But also if I feel, and this is just my mentality, is if that person feels comfortable enough not to wear a mask, I'm assuming that they don't have anything that's contagious. But that's a silly mentality to have.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, I disagree with that one.
I think I'd go the Valerie route.
They could have just forgot it, because I've done that too. I'm in the habit now of just putting one in every pocket. But I have walked out of the house without it.
I don't understand why you see people wearing masks riding in a vehicle by themselves or walking along with their husband and wife where there's no one around them outdoors wearing masks.
Maybe they feel ugly that day and they don't want people to look in the window. Like,
From a robbery.
Sometimes I keep mine on when I'm driving just because, I feel like I don't want to touch anywhere near my head or my face. And I'm like, you just need to stay on here. It's not going anywhere until I get home and I decontaminate. So I usually keep mine on. I'll put it on before I get in the car, and it's just staying on until all the errands have been run.
Yeah.
You know what's better though is a person having a mask on in a car is way better than someone on a train with a mask on their chin. This mask wearing stuff, I've said this on this podcast before, I hate noses now. I hate them. And if you invite me on this podcast again, I'm going to say it again. I hate noses now. I can't stand them.
We'll see, Sonny.
Mask is my way of life now. I'm going to just keep one. I'm just going to keep one.
I'm gonna keep wearing them forever. I'm gonna be mask fashion. I want mask accessories.
What are they? Personal? Mine are personalized, so I'm not getting rid of them now at all.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them now. They're personal. You want to see them? They're personalized. You want to see them?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it for you.
I not only wear one mask, I'd wear two masks most of the time, and I'd probably be that lame person in my car wearing a mask, Grandpa. I mean, I also agree with Valerie. I'm passive aggressive, but a little bit more. I usually just walk past someone and go, "Dead men walking." Got a mask on.
That requires so much bravery, though. Holy shit!
Oh no, a brisk walk.
They wouldn't even register.
Oh,
For me, on my way to work, I get a coffee and I walk through Central Park and I have my mask off while I'm drinking my coffee. And guess what? I'm not saying this in proponents not wearing masks, but when I walk through Central Park, the minority are mask wearers. People are jogging, people are riding bikes,
disgusting.
People are walking, and the minority are mask wearers.
That's basically a drive-by.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty good up here in Chicago. I have a confession, though. This was way before.
Pretty good in
Let's
Chicago.
Before COVID came, I had at times when I traveled worn a mask because I didn't want anybody to sit in the middle seat. You know, when I fly Southwest, because I would always, not always, but invariably, if I would ever catch a cold, it was after I had flown, you know, because of air circulation.
Yeah.
So
that's smart.
That you know what's so crazy to me is people used to.
They're less apt to sit next to you.
Yeah. People are afraid of people not wearing masks, but I remember before March, if I ever saw someone with a mask, I would like treat them like the plague. I'd be like, "What's going on?" Like
It's the opposite now, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just wasn't
yeah.
commonplace here. Like in other countries, like that was just like the casual, polite thing to do. Is if you're sick, you just like wear your little mask,
Yeah.
and everybody
But
knows.
here's my issue with the mask wearing is now it's almost assumed that if you wear a mask you're safe, which I disagree with entirely, completely 100%. I work in the restaurant industry and you have to wear masks before you go in. You got to wear them until you get your food and stuff like that. And still one of these mask wearers, they took a test before they came in, didn't know their results, and they found out they were positive. They found out they were positive and they were still dining out and putting other people's lives at risk. And that's where my mentality is, where like, sure, you know, people can wear masks, and I feel like a lot of times people are wearing masks because of the image. They don't want to be seen as the people that are spreading things around. But I vote against the contrary. I think that people that are wearing masks are just as dangerous as people that aren't. And they're just doing it in different ways that we don't get to see on a constant daily basis.
I disagree.
Well,
All right,
I
Tracy.
disagree too. I think that the mask does help to keep your, you know, whatever, if you cough or whatever, it helps to keep it from spreading in the air.
Would you want a surgeon performing your surgery without a mask?
Oh no, I'm pro mask. I'm just offering.
To me, that's the whole thing.
What if the surgeon was like,
you know what? I'm not gonna hold it against the surgeon to have some sort of sickness while wearing the mask. Like I'm not gonna hold it against the surgeon to have a cold while they're wearing a mask.
You would let a sick dude operate on you knowing that he was sick?
if he's wearing a mask?
No, I'm saying that the dude will operate on me knowing that he's sick.
He's like coughing into your lungs as you're cut open. Like,
Well, they shouldn't be doing that.
But that's the good thing about the mask. That's why it's good to wear. That lady,
I know he shouldn't.
whoever that customer was that had COVID, you know what? That tested and didn't know it. They could have went to that restaurant without a mask, and then it'd be even worse. That mask was saving everyone. So if that doctor is doing surgery on you, has a cold, you better hope he got a mask on, at least, you know, even if he knew it or not.
I don't know. The restaurant thing is really weird, right? Because it's like, wear a mask if you go to the bathroom, but then as soon as you sit down, 30 tables of just like people breathing without masks and no one cares. It's like, oh, as long as you got pasta in front of you, you don't need one. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think as much you can have the mask on, the better. So if it is me going to the restroom and back, I'm gonna keep a mask on. I'm not gonna be like, well, fuck it.
And I agree with you in the sense the most that you can have your mask on, I'm all about that, right? But what I'm saying is, just because someone wears a mask, I feel like the stigma is that they're safer, and that's where I'm disagreeing with. I don't think just because you wear a mask, you're safer as a person. Because I think
it makes it
it's
safer
not
for the
it's
other
not
people.
a stigma. Yeah, it's a fact.
Makes it safer for the other people. That
It doesn't
around
mean
them.
you're safe, period, but you're safer. You're
Yeah.
safer.
Well, I wear a mask and gloves when I'm out.
Squad.
Yeah, I did that before the pandemic.
I was already a germaphobe. So.
All right, Tracy, I want to see these masks.
They're not that cute.
I bet they are.
Oh, come on.
It has my logo on it.
To our audience listening in, this is, what does it say?
Her brand.
Oh, it's her brand. Yeah, it's a white mask with the word tray in purple and a butterfly. Yeah, it is really cool.
Delightful.
And then the other one's just, it's the same mask. It just had, hold on. It just says Tracy a la carte. So I got clear stuff I'm wearing now. I'm waiting on it to get delivered. It's not going to have any logo.
Oh.
I'm like a Price is Right model.
Yeah. My actress friend created a lot of cute masks, one with little notes on it, and then one that has a director's chair and it says, "One more for safety."
Oh, that's so good.
No.
I love
I have
those.
that one too, but I don't like
Rosie.
it. It's made of jean material. I don't like
Yeah.
it. I can't even breathe in it.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
material
don't
is crucial.
Yeah, so now I just have the clear shield.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to get delivered. I'm not gonna wear these anymore
Yeah.
because I can't breathe. The clear shield. You miss my teeth. My teeth are breaking. I have to show them.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonny, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm just listening. I've created some more table space that I haven't had on my table before, like my table desk. So I get to finally do one of these. That's
You're
why I've
just
been doing
soaking
this
it all
all
in.
pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Like, this is like, I mean, seriously, I mean, this doesn't seem like anything to you, but I used to just have to like sit like this with my elbows just being on my side, so I get to do this now.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have room like that. That's
Yeah, I know. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's so underrated.
They don't know until you got. You don't know until you got it.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Yo, on that, I feel like it's coming to that time, the end of the episode. But I would love y'all three's last thoughts before we wrap up. Start with Tracy.
On last thoughts on
anything.
Oh man, everything. Just say anything to our audience at home.
Okay, well,
Plugs.
I think if everyone kind of just, I don't know, just softens up. I mean, like Phines said, God is ultimately the judge, and we need to leave our opinions and our thoughts. It's okay to have a discussion with people on social media. I've been on social media all night, right? But it's okay to have a discussion, but I think we should consider other people and how it will make people feel. Whether we like whoever, or if it's your sister-in-law, in-law, whoever, just, even if you have to type it and delete it before you post it, just to get it out of your system. There's got to be a better way that we can start handling each other. I personally don't like the racial. I went to a predominantly white high school, and I don't like the racial. Like, we talk about that. My classmates talk about that on social media. We don't understand how all this racial stuff, because we all got along. We go to each other's houses, we hang out. To see it now bothers me. And then, what's his name? I'm sorry. The guy,
Sonny.
the last person to join?
Oh, you can call me Sonny.
Sonny, okay, sorry. And like he said, just to bash people because of someone's beliefs, or whoever said that. I don't agree with that either. People believe what they believe. I believe what I believe, and, just show more love. That's it for me.
Dig it.
Valerie.
I'm not trying to be profound, but the only thing that I truly know is that I don't know anything. It's just a very trying time we're going through right now because we don't know. And not knowing is just unfathomable to some people.
Yeah.
So I say just try and go with the flow and get used to not knowing. And it's okay not to know. Just,
I would say that is profound.
Pardon?
I would say that what you just said is very profound. And,
Well, maybe 30 years ago I wouldn't have thought that way, but I do now.
And to admit we don't know. It's okay to admit we don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Sonny?
Try to have fun, because what we're going through sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, I want to thank our amazing guests for coming on today. Our amazing producer, as always, Sierra, Phines, Grandpa. Good to see you today.
Yeah, good to see you, Brandon. I wish I could be closer physically with you, but
yeah,
that'll happen soon.
Next Thanksgiving. I think next
My
Thanksgiving.
question was, are you guys not in the same state? Okay.
About yeah. And on that, in the words of Tom Tom, drink coffee and don't date magicians. That's our show.
And now, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Podcasting with Grandpa Bart and Rosie, always on his shoulder. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Grandpa and Chill is brought to you by your hosts, Brandon Fox, Bart Frank, and Phines Jackson. Our producer is Sierra Doss. You can find episodes old and new on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the show, and follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes moments you can't get anywhere else.